Comedy legend Katt Williams has never been more relevant than he is right now. Hot off the heels of the Shannon Sharpe interview on his podcast. I think it's called Club Shay. Really need to work on that, okay? I already got some sort of a perception about you, but the title of that podcast isn't going to help you out any. But no, that's not to throw shade at Katt Williams, because the guy's been around forever. I've known about him for a long time. He's a hilarious guy, by the way. It's just, he worked in some of his trademark humor into this interview, while at the same time also naming names and getting down to the real nitty-gritty, pun somewhat intended, in regards to the entertainment industry and why he's never ascended any higher than just, cult favorite? I don't. Maybe he's bigger. I kind of know. Fact of the matter is, he's much more famous in the black community, but he has better material than a lot of the guys that he's going to go on and, rhetorically take a dump on during this entire interview. And I'm not going to play all of it. I would highly encourage all of you, if you haven't already, it's fastly becoming, and I'm pretty sure at least at this early stage of the year, the most viral interview out there, because, it's hilarious, it's timely, and it's authentic. Something that I've talked about throughout 2023 and prior to that as well, is that authenticity is what we are starved of. If somebody was simply to just stand up, own the space that they're standing in, maintain 10 toes down, they would be the biggest thing going. And what do we have right here? Somebody who takes control of the room, somebody who doesn't give a single shit about what the consequences are from the people that are going to take offense to this. And what happens? He ends up ruling the day. So Katt Williams scorches the earth and every comedian on it. Justifiably so. But if you've seen any clip that has come out from this interview, I'm not going to play all the clips, but I will play the ones that you probably heard, because, this shit's hilarious, and that's why it's making the rounds.
My goal was to get this far in Hollywood and still have a virgin asshole.
Yo, man, this guy out here is absolutely wild, but you probably heard that, okay? I got this far in Hollywood, and still I got my booty virginity. That's probably what you heard, and it's like, what the fuck is he talking about? Is this just going to be a bunch of crazy stuff? Yes, but no. Remember The Last Dance, the must-watch documentary event in early 2020, in which Michael Jordan, reflecting on his final NBA championship campaign and legacy, captivated the world by finally cutting loose on his former teammates, rivals, and headlines that dogged him throughout his career. Well, imagine if The Last Dance consisted solely of one long interview, which switched focus from basketball to stand-up and swapped out Jordan for comedy legend Katt Williams. And yeah, it wasn't even specifically around basketball, in the same way that they're trying to frame this as a comparison to The Last Dance that everybody's talking about. That's where they definitely have it correct in the analogy, because everybody is talking about this, especially when it dropped January 3rd. The internet was stopped in its track by precisely this, as Williams sat down for a nearly 3-hour tour de force interview with ESPN First Take correspondent Shannon Sharpe on his podcast Club Shay. It's terrible. The reason I had to come is because you've made a safe space for the truth to be told, Williams said at the top of the interview. And I have watched all these lowbrow comedians come here and disrespect you to your face and tell you straight up lies. Was he there to set the record straight? Sharpe asked in reply. Apparently so. Because, Katt Williams wasn't pussyfooting around any topic. He talked about everything that he wanted to. And then even, as it's alluded to right there, okay, you let these bum-ass, sorry-ass, second-rate, soft comedians come up here and, try to punk test you. You're Shannon motherfucking Sharpe, okay? You've won championships. You're an NFL legend. You are one of the most notable, prolific talking heads in all of sports media right now, and you're getting punked by literal dorks? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing out here? Over the course of the interview, Williams makes outrageous claims. He says Harvey Weinstein offered to suck my penis in front of all my people and my agency. All right. Airs personal grievances with a half dozen or so comedians, such as Cedric the Entertainer. Michael Blackson goes deep on production of Friday After Next and dismisses rumors about his personal life. Oh, yes, there is a lot of stuff. And like I said, I would encourage you, go and listen to that interview if you're interested, or if you want to get caught up on what Katt Williams is totally about, then go check out a stand-up, because It's really good. It's really good, as long as you have the stomach for some off-color jokes. Before the interview even finished premiering on YouTube, it began going viral on Twitter, inspiring memes, jokes, and fact-checking. Yeah, a lot of fact-checking, but what's funny is, in the aftermath, and, me waiting a couple of days in order to, do a recap on this, has really led credibility to this. It's because whenever they're fact-checking this stuff, it's kind of coming back. Anything that they can run the numbers on kind of falls on Katt Williams' favor. So let's see some of his more inflammatory claims, because, yeah, he takes shots at Kevin Hart, somebody who, well, I've been well abreast of, the career of Kevin Hart. I remember him coming up on Tough Crowd, being the lackey of Patrice O'Neal, and all of a sudden he shot up to superstardom, being the Danny DeVito to The Rock's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like, okay, yeah, he's fine. I'm glad it happened to Kevin Hart as opposed to somebody like Bill Burr. It's like, why little Kev? In the 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of a sold-out Kevin Hart show. Yeah, that's the thing. He was always around that scene, but he was never at the forefront of that scene. There are so many other people back in that old Comedy Cellar clique, the guys who constantly populated the Opie and Anthony show back in the WNEW and the Sirius XM days, never got their due. There being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at a comedy club. He's already had his deals where he got there. Have we heard of a comedian come out of LA in his first year in LA, and he's got his own sitcom on a network and had his own film called Soul Plane that he was leading? No. Where he ever heard that before, and that person or since that person. What do you think the plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definition of these words. He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you the whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast. So how simultaneously has he here in Los Angeles been doing the same thing? It doesn't happen. For a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk. Katt Williams talking about this. All I had to say was, can we take some of this step and fetch it shit out of it and do it? And it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual. It doesn't need to be funny. Oh, it doesn't that need to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem. And then going and give it to this other guy and having them doing it just like it was and acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. Tell me that there are no gatekeepers and you keep seeing the same person at the gate. Didn't Kevin let Tiffany Haddish in? Oh my God. Yeah, that's probably one of his creations. What did you mean ain't no gatekeepers? There's hundreds of gates out there. Every one I seen, I got a keeper. On January 4th, Hart responded to Williams on Twitter in a post promoting his upcoming Netflix movie Lift. Gotta get that anger up, ouch, champ, he wrote. It's honestly sad. Oh my God. If you're gonna address something like that and you're supposed to be a comedian, don't even bother addressing it next time. Cedric the Entertainer. Cedric is sitting here telling you why he ain't a movie star. He's over here looking like a walrus. Oh, Lord have mercy. He can't even get his arms off his stomach sitting here. Why am I not a movie star? He never wrote anything. Remember, when Cedric the Entertainer stars, he's supposed to be singing, dancing, telling jokes, and that's why he's called the Entertainer. We found out he can't sing, he can't dance, he doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon. They're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Can I say that again for the audience? They're so bad that they aren't available on Netflix or Tubi. Cedric the Entertainer responded to Williams' comments on Instagram on January 3rd, saying revisionist history. Regardless of whatever Katt's opinions, my career can't be reduced to one joke Katt Williams claims as his. He's saying you're a hack and you're like, well, I didn't steal any of his jokes. Interesting. Kanye West. Oh Lord, what are you talking about Ye for? I suspect that we're a pretty awful people if we say that somebody got a mental illness and then we watch what they do. If you say somebody got special needs, then why would you be watching them and holding them accountable like everybody else? I think he's on to something here. Wouldn't you grade them on a curve? Because, I mean, what we're reacting to, you're the one that put him in the position where we thought he was a god and would call himself Jesus. And you're the one that told the guy that writes musical lyrics that he's a genius. You're the one. So what do you expect? The guy married a whore. Oh, he's so true. I mean, married her because she was one. Not that he didn't know. He understood that he wanted that. He courted that. That's what he wanted to base his family on. If what I'm saying is not correct, then how did she end up with Pete Davidson? Oh no. And what if you weren't good enough for Pete and he leaves you? What does that mean your product was? No, I don't support or villainize Kanye because I don't understand what it is that you want from him. I don't know why you look at a basketball player and say he doesn't score no hockey goals this whole season. He doesn't play hockey. I mean, is the man wrong if you're anticipating getting one thing out of him, but he's providing a different service? That's the entire problem. He's speaking to a bigger problem, and something that the likes of, well, Alice Cooper has been talking about for a very long time. If we find ourselves in a society when we're asking for our political takes from rock stars, I think that says more about society than it does about the opinions of a rock star. On Harvey Weinstein. See, he's such a creep, I can't even say his name straight. They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there. It's 3 other black guys there, huh? I told him, no, what y'all do? All right, not a lot there, but just concise and to the point. He wanted to suck my dick. I didn't want him to. I didn't become a movie star. All right. And the big overarching thing behind this is that he's not really complaining in so much as it's like, okay, I know my material's good. I know I should be bigger than I am right now. Here's just the different crossroads I found myself in my career, and there are some people that obviously took those options and, well, they're at where they're at, and I'm going to name names. Whereas if you turn down those powerful people in charge, well, you end up going viral on a podcast. Steve Harvey. Oh boy, just big simp Harvey right there. Okay, if there's somebody who's definitely picking up that fallen Dr. Phil torch, it's definitely Steve Harvey. I guess he's got a more approachable way of doing things. Like, okay, obviously he's a meme for doing his Family Feud stuff. Let's not try to spin this that he's any less detrimental to society than, the terrible advice Dr. Phil used to give. But all right, he couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asked for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good and look like Mr. Potato Head. Fucking Christ. Yo, that's tough. Steve told you he stopped doing stand-up because he has 7 TV shows. The only problem is he stopped stand-up. He didn't have those 7 TV shows. Yeah, because he was the MC for the Kings of Comedy. So it's not like he ever really needed a set. He was just always the host. So, okay. Stopped stand-up because he got to a comedy battle with the championship of stand-up comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. Oh, and then I went in, and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big, and it was Bernie Mac and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean's 11 to get in that part? What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to be a movie star. I just wanted to have 7 television shows and basically permeate the entire medium. Interesting. This is like Steve Harvey telling people that he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey has never been homeless. Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago. He was making $3,000 a show in cash, doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, where I am. Oh, I am where I am. Ugh. How's that working out for you now you're going through divorce? Sucks to suck, I guess. You said this about your first wife. You forget that. You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. What are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history. Yeah, exactly. Because simultaneously, they know that all of this clout's all over the internet, but then at the same time, the boomer ideology that's out there, the agents, the publicists, we've seen examples of this time and time again. They seem to forget that the internet doesn't forget, and that for all the things that they used to be able to just get away with when it comes to telling stories out of class, can't do that anymore. haven't been able to do that for decades at this point in time, but they still haven't figured that shit out. On Rickey Smiley's claims, that Williams' role in Friday After Next was intended for him. There was a lot on this Rickey Smiley character, and holy, I don't know why he would lose a child and come on the air and start lying. That's why people believe in rituals right there. Your story, Rickey Smiley, is that he couldn't even do curse words because he has a Christian fan base. He was going to play the pimp. Okay, why you didn't ask him why he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man? Yeah, this was another very viral part of the interview that you've seen as well. Why wouldn't they let an athlete that's been on steroids talk about one of the greats? Rickey Smiley can't act because Rickey Smiley can't act. He was so egregious. I put it in my contract that I wouldn't work with Rickey Smiley's again unless he's in a dress. Now, why? Now what? How was Rickey Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract. That's where he's a believable actor. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. Oh my God. They play a good women, and I believe in the best actors, I should be in the best role. On January 4th, Smiley responded to Williams on his radio show, Rickey Smiley's Morning Show. He brought his former manager on to confirm that he auditioned for the role of Money Mike before Williams, but clarified that he was glad Williams got the part because he made it funnier, and that there was no way in hell I could have executed the role like that. He said he didn't want to make any derogatory comments about Williams because he didn't like the way Williams' remarks made his kids feel, adding, "I don't have anything but love over here." Oh my God. But he also spoke about a bigger issue there, talking about, black actors always seem to find a way, talking about the industry itself. Hollywood finds a way to just put them in dresses. Just really bitch him up time and time again. Jamie Foxx on In Living Color. One of his most famous recurring roles was him doing female impersonations. Very strange. And then running down an entire list, and then also just running it back to him going, "I never wore a dress. Wonder why I'm not a movie star?" Exactly. Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker is the Chris Tucker that we have now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey. Oof. Chris Tucker didn't want to be the poster child for smoking weed. He didn't smoke weed like that. He was in church. He's Michael Jackson's best friend. Michael Jackson called him Christmas. You ever met a man that gave you a nickname like that? Yeah, it's a weird one, but Michael Jackson didn't do anything wrong. On Diddy, somebody who, Katt Williams made a bunch of different shots at, and it seems to be a little bit more warm water to tread on lately, especially with all of those revelations from the different lawsuits. For as much as I don't believe most of the lawsuits that have come out against Diddy, at the same time, there's been stories about him for a long time, and now a lot of those are just coming to light. But anyways, I came into the business saying I was gonna expose. When I told you about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Yeah, I actually have this clip pulled up because I think it's specifically pertinent. Okay, I'll just go ahead. I'll let him talk. I'll let you talk. Okay, Katt?
And I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. Yep. It's God's side and the other side.
Oh no.
And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
TD Jakes, by the way, big in the motivation and inspiration side of things, and yeah, I'm not entirely sure about what's going on with him over there, but I know that he's catching 7 shades of shit at the moment, so.
And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth, and I was...
Yeah, dude, that's kind of the truth right there. Okay, 1000%. On to Smith. Okay, you can't flip me up because you're an inferior comedian. Oh, man, I'm going to destroy you. I'm never going to call you out of your name. I'm never going to say anything disrespectful about people who look like you. That's a very thin line I got to call. But this lady is trying to embarrass me in front of a largely homosexual fan base, and that's why she got canceled. Gay people, don't take it kindly that you would, as derogatory, call me gay. Gay people people don't feel like it's derogatory. Where's the lie so far? So why are you trying to shame me with something in a community I don't belong in? There's no gay people saying I belong over there or have been over there, but I have no hatred of over there. How dare you? I'm not trying to offend black women with short hair. Oh no, I'm not trying to offend heavyset women. Oh no, again, I'm trying to upset fellow comedians. Or I'm not trying to upset fellow comedians. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm qualified to be able to do none of that and still eviscerate you because I'm smart enough to know that I need to say that you have gnarled fingers. Oh, because your limited education means that you don't know what words mean. Oh, you can't possibly respond to it. Oh, you're not sure of the meaning. I'll fight a Faison Love, a big fat liar, for saying that he's funnier than Katt Williams, having no specials. Why is he allowed to have conversations with real stand-up people? We do not let people who are the juice discuss real athletes. Oh no. Michael Blackson. Oh jeez. Oh no. Most comedians don't get booed enough. That's how you end up with Michael Blackson, a real African doing a fake African accent. Oh man, why did that? Yay. But a couple of other people that I want to touch on. Okay, so the Jonathan Majors stuff, very interesting because you remember old Kang the Conqueror ended up getting snatched up, even though there's like evidence that's right out there. But no, he was guilty of some very interesting charges against him. But basically, he's going to be blacklisted from Hollywood. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might be running down the street like she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors. Not because I didn't like white women. I think the white women are as great as any women, and I'm not going to act like I'm scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. First of all, they went around the world for 2 years straight, telling any woman that would listen, this was a good-looking Negro. Since when? When did y'all start liking a big nose? Oh, when did y'all start liking a little head and a big jaw? When did they look like my daddy? When do you start liking my daddy? Black people's features. This ugly, no good looking. There's a lot of basketball American slang right there. Thank you, Megan Good. God bless you for coming to save that slave. Oh, he'd give you. I'd been there himself. He's been getting all four guilty. And he came in just so beautiful, and she had to knock half of it off. Oh, bless his heart. And then talking about Joe Rogan, and yeah, okay, Joe Rogan don't want me on. Joe got 6 comedians that would never be funny that he wants to push out. And then Rogan was like, he heard that stuff. He's like, no, I love Katt. He's one of my favorite comics, and I'd love to have him on. We talk about him all the time. I'll be down. I'll make it happen. This is where, that is definitely where we're going to end up getting the part 2 of this absolute insanity. I glossed over a couple of these, but the one that I want to end on is probably the Martin Lawrence one, because I think it's pretty important, because it also harkens back to the one thing that I was talking about, that they always put a black guy. Hollywood in general, and they've been doing this for a long time, kind of like how they've also been trying to make the bumbling white guy, well, the bumbling white guy, but just trying to make the black guy less offensive to the masses. Well, Katt's got a theory. Martin tried to put me in a dress. Martin tried to put me in my first dress when he had to go on his hiatus to tell me, Katt, when I come back, I need you. I need my young partner. You're my brother in comedy. When I come back, just promise me that my next movie, it will be me and you. We're going to do it together. We're going to do some buddy cop shit. And he said, Martin, you got my motherfucking word, my basketball American. Go do what you need to do, and you got nothing coming back in your movie. Don't trip. I don't need to see the script or nothing. You know how we get in the office and the fool pull out Big Mama's House too. Oh my God, I almost died. And I got to read the script in front of all these good white people where there's want me to get an address with him. But that's what he was trying to expose throughout this entire interview. It's like, why do all of these either untalented people or the very, very talented people simultaneously get propped up or torn down by the industry? It's almost like talent has very little to do with it. It's all about malleability. That was the central theme throughout the entire interview, and why, if he ever does go on Joe Rogan, if we end up getting that, and I'd imagine, okay, there's no reason to disbelieve Rogan. I don't like Spotify Rogan as much as I used to like old YouTube Rogan, but when this interview does drop, all the credit for Shannon Sharpe for putting Katt Williams on right now and allowing him to say what he said during this. It goes without saying, Rogan's a much better interviewer than a former NFL tight end. I know, right? Really taking brave steps proclaiming that. But I think there will be an ability to really drill down on this stuff, and we can see where 2024 goes, because as the first viral moments of the year go, okay, and we all know that 2024 is going to be a crazy year. I don't think that we could have kicked this year off any better than this. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.